Our top story tonight, an independent candidate is continuing his campaign for president. Robert F. Kennedy made a stop in Charleston, West Virginia this weekend as he looks to gain access to the ballot and challenge the eventual Democratic and Republican nominees for the White House. Just before he stepped on stage, he took time to speak to Newswatch 101, laying out his goals for his campaign and how he thinks West Virginia can play a role in the national picture. A major concern of his is the wellness of America, a problem especially bad in the Mountain State.
Our water supply here in West Virginia has the most contaminated water in the country, and then pharmaceuticals. So, we now have, when my uncle was president, 6% of the people in our country had chronic disease. Today, 60%. We know that there's a narrow number of those of environmental exposures like PFOAs, which I've sued here in West Virginia. I've litigated against DuPont on behalf of 10,000 families here in the state for PFOAs, for forever chemicals, for contaminating large amounts of the state.
Kennedy points to widespread disease in the country, like chronic pain, neurological disease, and obesity as examples of the affliction he believes is gripping the United States. Kennedy is the son of Senator Robert F. Kennedy and the nephew of President John F. Kennedy. His family is strongly connected to West Virginia, thanks to the campaigns of both his uncle and father.
My family has a long history in this state. My uncle John Kennedy would not have been president except for the vote of West Virginia. West Virginia surprised the country for voting for John Kennedy. They supported my father when he ran. My family basically migrated into this state, and they claimed to have shaken the hands of almost everybody in the state of West Virginia at that time. It was a state of intense interest during that election. It gave President Kennedy that election during the primaries.
Kennedy is not officially on the ballot. His campaign is soliciting signatures for its official ballot petition, one of the reasons that he stopped in West Virginia. To gain access to the ballot in West Virginia, an independent candidate needs to gain a total number of signatures in the state that equals to 1% of the votes in the last presidential election. This year, that number is roughly 8,000. Kennedy has until August 1st to gain the signatures and file. As he continues to campaign, he believes that the economy can be improved while still preserving the environment. Exploiting the environment for short-term gain while suffering long-term consequences is not a winning strategy, he said.
If, on the other hand, we want to treat states like West Virginia as if they're a business in liquidation, convert the natural resource to cash as quickly as possible, have a few years of pollution-based prosperity, we can generate the illusion of a prosperous economy and an instantaneous cash flow, and we can make a few people billionaires by impoverishing the rest of us. But our children are going to pay for our joyride, and they're going to pay for it with denuded landscapes, poor health, contamination that is going to amplify over time, and that will never be cleaned up.
Stay tuned to WOAY throughout the 2024 election season. We will bring you continued political coverage from across the Mountain State. WOAY is your home for local election coverage.